Hello, my little sunspots, and welcome to this kilowatt hour. Well, half hour, where we're diving deep into the world of sustainable transport. And who better to guide you than our very own panel of experts, the EV Café crew? To them in a moment. They're so full of insights, they practically ooze megawatts of knowledge, as do our news partners, Drax Electric Vehicles. So today, serving up the hot takes, the rapid-charged opinions, and perhaps a few dad and mum jokes, we have the legendary Sarah and Paul. Going to Sarah first. Oh, I can hear myself strangely.
Yeah, I just got rid of it. Sorry, I'm on the chat.
Sarah, breaking news, very exciting for you this week because Paythrough, your partner, your business, are partnering with global fintech company Adyen to co-develop an omni-channel payment platform for EV charging. What on earth is that all about?
I know, and I want to thank everybody for support. We are seeing the news go around the world, so we're really, really proud of this. And Adyen is an incredible leader in this space already. Makes natural sense for that to be a good partnership. Really, all we're trying to do is just improve the payment systems for EV drivers. As we've said many times, many systems exist already, but they've never been put together properly and evolved at the pace that we need. So that's the aim. I'll be busy.
And the EV Café proves that when you put a few random things together, great things can happen. Speaking of great things, is Paul. Hello, my friend. How are you and how was your week?
Oh, I think that is probably the nicest thing you've ever said to me publicly.
It's in the script, mate. It's in the script.
A few nice things in my ears over the time, but, you know, anyway. The week's been a funny mix, actually. Getting back from holiday, I'm not sure I like holidays, because holidays kind of just make my brain slow down and mean I don't do anything, and I'm not very good at speeding it back up. But we had a great day on Wednesday. Not only was the webinar on, but we had a wonderful time with Motorway and talking to their used vehicle dealers. And hearing from Gunther Steiner. And John, here's your book. Actually, it's in the sunshine, so we'll have to get rid of that. But there it is. I've got a signed copy of Gunther Steiner's book, especially for John, because he wasn't able to stay around. But a fabulous day, of which John was a star within that whole event, and really wowed the audiences and chaired the panel session that he was doing brilliantly. So that was a bit of a highlight, and then I was at SMMT live yesterday and caught up with a few nice people there too. So my progression has been on an upward trajectory, let's put it like that.
Golly gracious, that's frisky for a Friday. Now then, grab a beveragini. Find your favourite charging cable, because we know you have one, you weirdos. And let's plug in to the buzzing world of clean transport this week. Now, maximise your regen, because coming up, we've got Sunderland with a £1 billion power-up. We'll unpack the electrifying news of a massive new battery plant. Will it be enough to power all of our future cuppers? We hope so. Sarah, coming to you for that one. Transatlantic transmissions. What's the deal with the UK and US trade deal? And will it supercharge or stall our EV ambitions? We'll try to make sense of the handshakes and headlines. And I'm coming to Paul for that one, and he's thrilled. A breath of fresh air from tragedy. We'll discuss the poignant story of Ella Roberta and how her legacy is driving a powerful push for cleaner air. A serious note for us, because it truly matters, and we'll get reflections from both Paul and Sarah on that. And then, is it a shady business or a bright idea? The government is mulling over mandatory solar canopies for car parks. Are we about to see every supermarket car park become a mini power station? Who knows? I'm sure you'll have thoughts. Now then, first up, the EV Café commercial clap, where we highlight innovation and new things in our industry.
The commercial clap from the EV Café.
Innovation applauded.
Right. Commercial clap. Thanks, Paul. Lovely nail varnish, by the way. Europe Car.
I'm going to paint my nails next time. Yeah.
Europe Car have hit 1 million EV miles. That's fantastic. 1 million more electric rental days. 440,000 uplift. Sorry, I'll start that one again. What a load of nonsense I'm talking this morning. Europe Car Mobility Group has achieved 1 million more electric rental days, a 444% uplift in the past year. Its low and zero emission rentals rose from 228,000 rental days in 2023 to more than 1,241,000 in 2024. Last year, Europe Car increased its electrified fleet with 14% of cars now fully electric or plug-in hybrid, and it also increased its use of electric cars and e-bikes to support its deliver and collect service, using electric vehicles to drive 1,090,500 miles when delivering and collecting rental vehicles enabled Europe Car to save 78,516 kilograms of CO2 in 2024. Truly outstanding. And interestingly, that in the last year, as they've partnered the EV Café, that's happened. Just saying. Might be a coincidence, might not. Anyway, now to Denbighshire. A council has become one of the first organisations to install a vehicle-to-grid electric vehicle charger at its fleet depot using AC rather than DC current. With a fleet of more than 400 vehicles, of which 100 are EVs, Denbighshire County Council have installed the charger at its depots, which generate its own electricity from solar panels linked to a battery storage system as part of a smart local energy system. The vehicle-to-volume energy yield, or V2VNY, like we didn't have enough V2 projects, is trialling low-cost V2G chargers using AC rather than DC. Good stuff. Well done. Like the innovation. And finally, Perth and Kinross Council have trialled hydro-treated vegetable oil on its refuse collection fleet. The move saw 6 lorries moved to HVO with a significant reduction in carbon emissions of around 87 tonnes of CO2 across the trial. As a result of the success, a further 18 bin lorries based at the council's Friarton depot were swapped to the more environmentally friendly fuel in early February 2025. It's estimated they'll save 500 tonnes of CO2 a year, and HVO is produced from 100% renewable waste and residue derived from derived feedstocks capable of cutting carbon emissions by up to 90%. And Paul mentioned the motorway event that we did on Wednesday. And one of the things that came out there, that we're not just rabid about EVs. We are rabid about EVs, but not just. Any improvement in emissions performance has to be a good thing. And HVO, 90% savings on carbon. Tell you what, I'm up for that. So that's the commercial clap. Shall we do the news?
Yes, please.
There you go. Right then, first up, we've got, hold on to your hubcaps, because Sunderland's just bagged itself a whopping £1 billion investment for a shiny new electric car battery plant. That's right, folks, the government's given the green light, hailing it as a massive boost for Britain's green street cred and our quest to hit those net zero targets. This new gigafactory sounds like something out of a superhero comic, doesn't it? But it'll be setting up shop at the rather grandly named International Advanced Manufacturing Park in Washington. It's the second such electrifying venture in the city for AESC UK, Nissan's battery making buddies. Once it's all systems go, it's set to create 1,000 top-notch jobs and churn out enough juice boxes to power 100,000 electric cars every year. Our very own Chancellor, the dear Rachel Reeves, popped over for a cuppa and a photo op, saying this investment isn't just about furthering innovation and speeding up our switch to cleaner rides, but it's also about bringing high-quality, well-paid jobs to the northeast. Look at you there. What are you talking about? Basically, putting more dosh in people's pockets, doing sustainable and green transport things. Sarah, is this good news, or is this just another gigafactory story that won't deliver?
Oh gosh, I hope not. And also, you do it wrong. You're supposed to go $1 billion every time. Thank you very much. I think 1,000 jobs is good. However, I'm sure back in the day, was it? It's like 8,000 jobs for the British Volt one. So I don't know what the scale of this particular factory is compared to that, but maybe small is better and incremental change is what we need. And this week I haven't escaped from the need for apprenticeships and entry sort of level jobs to climb up through the ranks. So I hope it's a long-term investment, a 20-year plus plant to see people through their careers up in the northeast.
Yeah, speaking of small is better, Paul, any thoughts?
Any thoughts beyond that? You're very rude. What I'm thinking is it's good news, because I mean, obviously Nissan have been in the news lately, sort of shutting things down, which could potentially affect the northeast. I'm not even sure whether it actually does or not. But either way, it's good that we're seeing, if one thing does shut down, then there are still skilled jobs. I take Sarah's point around the apprenticeships and skills getting in at the first rung of the ladder, as it were. But it will be great news, especially for the northeast. Let's face it, there's not lots and lots of big businesses going on up there, which was why it was so exciting about British Volt, and such a shame that it didn't kind of come to pass. But let's hope that this all goes swimmingly and continues to pour money into the northeast.
Yeah, I guess one of the key issues has always been that having a customer for the batteries that are produced has always been the challenge with these previous companies. And what we're finding is that, the association with Nissan is likely to achieve great things because they make them, they build them, they use them. So it seems sensible to me.
And we spoke to Chris Hazel from Felton this week. And what he indicated, I mean, it's coming out on the podcast, people, so you can listen to it shortly. But in the meantime, a little snippet from that was that he's seeing a massive increase in the second life market, where there's a lot more batteries available to build stuff with. For their charge cube in particular, which you can hear all about on the podcast. But the fact that there's second life batteries means that we need more new ones, coming in at the top end. So, top of the funnel, bottom of the funnel, that type of thing is what I mean.
Absolutely. Now then, it's 11 minutes past 10, and it's heralded to be the hottest day of 2025 so far. Really? It's going to be 20. We're looking at 22 degrees in Scotland later on today.
And I'm a factor of the last 100 years, isn't it?
I'm a factor 50 boy, so I go all over factor 50. It's really important sunscreen. Sarah, when you're out and about and you do lots of outdoor stuff, are you a sunscreen girl?
Oh God, I'm a factor 50 person too, actually. I just find it's less stressful. I do not wish to feel the burn. I hate that tight skin feeling. But last week, I think it was Lindsay Hetherington said, "Oh, Sarah's been in the sun, but I'm only 1 quarter Polish, but looking through all my family history, they're all so tanned." So I think maybe I just look at the sun and go super tanned.
Over 5 years of knowing you, and I didn't know you had any Polish in you. Wow, isn't that interesting? Now, Pablo, what about you? Are you a sun cream boy?
I'm very much a sun cream boy. I am easily burnt, probably within 10 minutes. So if I'm out in the sun, I have to have lots of Factor 50. I've got this really good stuff that just kind of just stays on you for 24 hours. It's not 24 hours, but a long time, 10 or 12 hours, and it is really good. Good in water, good at, so that I'm 100% that. And also, look, there's all the stuff about, skin cancer and all that kind of stuff. We've got to look after ourselves in every way possible. Yes.
Absolutely. Indeed. Now then, drop in the comments. What's your factor? When I was a boy, factor 2 was a big thing.
Yes,
let's have a factor 2. Factor 4.
All the kids in factor 4 will be fine.
Coconut oil. Lard. Whatever.
Whatever you can get your hands on. Stick it in the chat. I'm interested. What do people now, these days, generally go for when it comes to lathering on your sunscreen? Is it factor 50, or do you take a bit of a risk there? Fascinating to know. But anyway, let's do the shout outs, because smashing the doors in at 8:42 this morning, Daryl Sharp, your alarm clock, my friend, is superb. You are here again, and he's having the rest of the day with his wife to celebrate 15 years of marriage. Do you know what, mate? Congratulations, 15 years with you. Must have flown by. Have a great day, and to Mrs. Sharp, stay sharp. Screamush King James, he's in the house. He's having a good time. I know he is, because I spoke to him during the week. Gary Comerford, he's out at 8 out of 10. That's pretty good for his mental health rating. Good, pleased to hear that. Leon Gomez, morning, my friend. Peter Heath, he's here. He's got nice teeth. Lovely, he's in South London. And he's hoping Crystal Palace win the FA Cup tomorrow. Yeah, do you know, 1976 Southampton won the FA Cup. Great things can happen. Michael Barton's in sunny Bristol. Paul O'Brien's in sunny Milton Keynes. Ron Godfrey, the show never ends. Is so glad to attend. What? Come inside? Come inside? What? No, that's nasty. Belinda Guy, good morning, my friend. Lovely to see you and great to see all your stuff on LinkedIn this week. The man, DEV Chakravarti, is in the house. He's having a fun Friday. Hello, mate. Gemma Robinson, hello from Highlands and Islands. Greetings to you, my friend. Ben McDonald, morning. He was on the webinar this week. Great questions. Thank you kindly. Stuart Humphrey, giving the love to those people who are a little bit neurodiverse, rather like myself. Love you, mate. Thanks for doing that. Ash Bannister, he's a good guy. Ash, you need to talk to James. Let's move on. Sarah Sloman, whoever that is, get off. I think she's Polish or something. Jim Blair, hello, my friend from Arnold Clark. Good to see you, Craig. Sorry, say what, Paul?
Just a quarter.
Just a quarter Polish.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but it's better than none. Craig Stark, sunny Scotland. Darn right, my friend Sean Jones. Hello, everyone. Hello, you. LinkedIn user. Who you be? Don't know. Tell us. Good morning, nonetheless. Scott Eady, we've got some symbols. I'm not even sure what they are or
Hello
where they're
in
from.
Thai. We checked.
In
It's
Thai.
hello in Thai.
Oh, yes, there we are. Thank you. He's still in Bangkok. Good man. Danita Brewer, hello. You. Matthew Ling in Leicestershire. Subtitles. Interesting. Sunny, like Suffolk. Toby Hiles, great to see you, my friend Rob Dustin. Nick Poynton from sunny Bristol. You and Michael should get together, maybe. Now there's a thing. Lots of stuff from the LinkedIn user. V2VNY. I did like that. That was an interesting one. I've never heard that before. Tony Clayton, good morning. Good to be back. Transport for Wales hosted a great EV charging event for local authorities in Wrexham yesterday. Focusing on the customer. What a novel approach to life. We should do it more like that. Well done for calling it out. Sarah Wellstead, great to see you. It's sunny Dursley. Where is Dursley? I thought that
Dursley's
was...
near me. So this is the thing. Michael Barton's 20 miles away and Sarah is just 6 miles away, 14 minutes. So yeah, we absolutely should have a little Southwest news day where we're all on the same camera.
The Southwest Massive. Mark Smith, good morning to you. Mike Stainton, great to have you here. 10 minutes late, but that's okay. Do you know what? You still made the effort. You thought 20 minutes of fun has got to be worth it. Mark Elliott, great to see you. Who else is in the house? Lots of chat this morning. Ian Mayhew, great to see you, my friend. Now, Russ Bolton, FAFP. FAFP, what does that stand for? Association of Fleet Professionals, maybe? A fellow? Don't know. Anyway, I have to say, John, your microphone setup sounds superb. Ross Bolton, I love you. Would you like some sweeties? Send me details. I send you sweeties. There we go. That sounds like the child catcher. I think we're done with the shout outs. That's all good. Thank you for joining us. It really does give us a lift. And people talk about it when we go out and we go around the country. People say your news absolutely is bang on because we care about you and your stories and what you're doing. Don't forget to send us your stories. Anyway, now then, Paul, stand by. UK-US trade deal. We're becoming the besties. With the US again, apparently, with a spanking brand new trade deal. This isn't just any old piece of paper. It could be a real game changer for electric wheels across the pond. Get this. Those pesky car export tariffs to the US have been slashed down from a hefty 27.5% to a much friendlier 10% for up to 100,000 of our British EVs. That's what we call giving our manufacturers a rather lovely competitive zap in the crucial American market. Meanwhile, our European friends might be feeling a bit of a jolt as they're still looking at 25% tariffs to get their motors into the US. And it's not just about the finished shiny cars. For any remaining British steel producers we might have, the previous 25% tariff on their goods heading stateside for EV production has been zapped to zero. That means our top-notch steel for battery boxes and bits can now flow from the UK to the US without those costly shackles. That's smooth. It's got to be good. I'm slightly interested in what we have remaining of the steel industry in the UK, but any reduction in tariffs for UK manufacturers of vehicles, Paul's got to be a good thing.
Yeah, I think it has. The SMMT often inform us that we are producing lots of vehicles and exporting them to various different parts of the world, which is good news. We've got some factories and we've got a bit of expertise in this particular world, and we know that the Stellantis factory up in Ellesmere Port is producing lots of electric vans, and I'm sure we can send a few there because they sort of get rebadged and sent over there. So I think it's good news. I mean, it doesn't escape the fact that America seemed to be on, well, let's not tar the whole country with the brush that one man is swinging, and that's the madness of these tariffs. It does seem to be causing chaos in the markets and everything. How long will it all last? Goodness knows, but it needs to get to be settled, because I think the whole market is struggling. So whilst this might be good news for the UK, how long will it be like this? How can we trust it? Could we build towards that sort of thing? You just don't know, because suddenly, we could build 50,000 vehicles and he could double the tariff the next day. It's that uncertainty that we talk about in markets in general. So whilst it does appear good news, how long is it going to last?
Am I a simpleton? We talk about exports. Well, I mean, there are
Yes.
two questions here. Am I a simpleton? Yes, the answer is yes. But in my simple mind, we've got the United Kingdom making stuff that the United Kingdom could use. Why are we not buying our own stuff rather than sending it across to America? Am I round the bend? We should be more self-sufficient than we currently are. And maybe we should be supporting Team UK, Team GB, buying British, all those old-fashioned things that we used to talk about back in the 70s and 80s. Perhaps it's about time we had a bit of a resurgence. So I'm not talking about a reform thing where we get, badge wearing and all ridiculous about it, but actually we recognise the quality and the skill of making our own things in our own country and reducing the issues that we have around exporting stuff thousands of miles. We make it here. Let's use it here. Sarah, am I mad?
No, of course you're not mad, and you're certainly not thick. And I do think you asked the best questions ever. And actually, this is such a complex argument, though. We are talking about huge behaviour change shift away from wanting lots of things really cheap through to going back to having just one thing for a very long time. We were talking this week on the British Parking Association conference about, if you have to have a car at all, please make it an electric car and please keep it for a very long time. That goes back to that sentiment of buying things that last. And I just hope that this is something we can do in a more strong way. And also, I saw in your article there was a piece about saying this might eventually bring the cost of cars down for the EV consumer. So again, unfortunately, we're heading in the wrong direction for that beautiful, wonderful thought.
Now then, let's move on to 1022 and a poignant tribute to Ella Roberta Adu Kissy Deborah. The first person in the UK to have air pollution listed as a cause of death has been unveiled in her hometown of Lewisham. The permanent statue, commissioned by the Ella Roberta Family Foundation, stands as both a memorial and a rallying cry for cleaner air policies. The life-size bronze statue, located near Horniman Museum and Gardens, depicts 9-year-old Ella holding a floral garland, a touching nod to her vibrant spirit. The installation serves as a memorial to Ella, who tragically died in 2013 from severe asthma linked to illegal levels of air pollution near her South Circular Road home. The statue is also a call to action for stronger air quality measures, echoing her mother, Rosamond Adu Kissy Deborah's relentless campaigning. Paul, you've had the joy of being in the same room as Rosamond when she's spoken. It's important that we do mark her passing, that Ella's passing, and that we remember that she gave her life so that maybe we can make a better tomorrow.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just 12 years in the making, of course. 2013 when Ella died as a result of an asthma attack, which was induced almost unequivocally to the point where it stood up in a court, directly resulted in the air quality that surrounded her life in Catford. And what we've seen over the years is this intrinsic link between asthma and pollution, and in particular the sort of NOx and SOx that are produced by vehicles on the road. And Rosamond's campaign is such a powerful one, and I think anything that we can do to just bring this to life. It's something that I discovered shortly after it was announced that, in the High Court that this case had been won by Rosamond to prove this link. I've used it in almost every presentation that I've put out there around the moral argument. We've got legal, we're doing all of the stuff around climate and stuff like that. But this is personal. And I think sometimes we miss that fact. We think we're just kind of trying to hug a tree and make the world a better place, but actually we're trying to save lives as individuals, because there is that direct link. Rosamund articulated it beautifully, saying that in the 3 months of lockdown, there was no death in a child directly attributed to asthma. And then the minute the lockdown was over, within a short period of time, there was another death. And that was the first time that had happened in medical recorded history. So it's very real, and I'm thrilled to see this as a permanent example of what we need to do and why we need to do it.
Chris Demetriou says, thank you, John and the EV Café team, for raising and discussing the Ella story. That's exactly why we do what we do. And Chris, you are one of the country's leading experts in this area, working in Islington, and we can't thank you enough for what you do. Factor 50 seems to be a bit of a thing. Everybody's factor 50ing, and Belinda Guy, she factor 50s every hour to 2 hours. Paul, you throw yours on for 24 hours. She's doing it every 2 hours, or at least every hour. Amazing stuff. Who else did we have here? Go on.
She should buy one that lasts longer.
You should not be so cheap.
Cheap, she's spending a fortune.
Yeah, that's
the
true.
point. Yeah,
That's very, very true. Yeah, right.
Pay
10:26.
more,
We got to
use it less.
10:26. We got to wiggle. The Bright Sparks over at Desnes, DSNZ or whatever they are. For those who like a mouthful of acronyms, are cooking up a plan. They're consulting, and the government have basically said whether they want to know, should we make solar canopies a must-have accessory for new outdoor car parks? They're also eyeing up existing car parks bigger than their Mini, whether they're public or private, and even multi-storey monoliths and your own residential parking spot might have to go into solar action. Plus, they're crowdsourcing genius ideas on how to get even more of the sun catchers shading our cars, and whilst they're at it, want to know how to cut the red tape for plugging in more EV chargers. That's good news. We like this. Consultation is good, but surely to goodness, it just makes sense. Whack solar on the top of your building, put in canopies. It's got to be the right thing to do. Sarah, go.
Yeah, love this. I'm very proud of the one down in Portishead. Those who can go and visit it, it was one of the first in the country. Beautiful glulam timber frame, and the solar panels were sourced from the Cotswolds. However, it doesn't produce very much electricity at all. Of course it doesn't, because it has a twofold intention. One is to raise awareness of how useful it could be to directly generate power to charge the cars. And that was ages ago. And now there's some amazing examples. I was lucky enough to go to Mercedes-Benz HQ over Milton Keynes Way, and all of their car parks have got solar array on. And there's something in that article, I don't know if you can find it, about how much could be saved in electricity costs. It's like 30 grand for a very sort of reasonable sized car park. So it's just drip feeding in all of the time. Just got to get it set up correctly that it does either go directly into your building or battery storage, or you're benefiting from selling it back to the grid. But who doesn't want a nice shady car park that happens to be generating power?
Darn straight.
Absolutely.
LinkedIn. Sorry, God, Paul.
Oh, sorry. It's an 80
No.
space car park, saving
80,
£28,000 a year. There you go. So, and having worked at Mercedes-Benz head office for a number of years, I know that car park is many, many more times the size of 80. So they're saving a shed load of money. And of course, it's a big, busy office, and so they're probably saving even more. This is a brilliant idea, isn't it? I mean, it just makes so much sense. And but it's also good when it's raining. And I know that doesn't make immediate sense, but you can walk under the canopy and you don't get wet. And of course, then you can recycle the water and, kind of use water to sort of do all of that sort of stuff. So it's good in so many different ways. And makes just life easier with this whole power problem that we've got with not enough power in the right places. We can trickle feed batteries from it. We can do all kinds of stuff that really make a heck of a lot of sense. And also, one thing that often gets missed is so much electricity is used by data centres. And it's JP Morgan, I think, have got their car park
Amazing. That's next. Solar powered
solar.
carpets.
Yeah,
but
no
isn't it, aren't
carpets
Europe
here.
already doing it?
Covered
This
in
is
solar
why it's come.
Yeah, indeed.
We've got a delay. Sorry, Paul, didn't mean to talk over you. But yeah, I think this is why it's already happening, because it's already been mandated in Europe. So we are literally playing catch up on this one. So yeah, great story. Sorry to interrupt you, Paul.
Really important. Clean Air Day, 19th of June. We really need to make a thing of Clean Air Day. I'd be fascinated to know if your organisation or you are doing something on the 19th of June that we can shout out about. So please let us know. Stick it in the comments. That would be magnificent. Sarah Gray from Dawson Group. No, you can't have some sweets just because you've asked, but you can earn them.
Well, I will give her some of my sweets.
Ah.
It's getting a bit big for his boots, that boy. Right,
Get in touch with me,
okay.
Sarah. I'll give you sweets.
Shocking behaviour. If you've got any clean transport PR or news stories you'd like us to cover, please send them to us at hello@evcafe.org. Until next Friday, it's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from the sweet boy and Sarah, who's even sweeter. Other sustainability news services are available, but this is just funner!
God, he's so delayed. Such a delay.
And sweeter. The EV Café is truly blessed to be partnered with the AA, Webfleet, Europcar, Iveco, Spheri, Schneider Electric, Dynamon, EV Blocks and AW Energy, with the EV Café supporting the transition to clean transport. And here's the news. We're supported by Drax Electric Vehicles. Enjoy the rest of your day and your weekend wherever it takes you. Factor 50, like your life depends on it, 'cause it does. Until next Friday. Bye.
Bye-bye. What a show.